Alright, I thought I was done with the day before yesterday, at least for a while, but we've got even more information now coming out from FNTASTIC and Mytona, the game's publisher, that I decided to circle back around and check it out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and first things first, thank you for the absolutely mental levels of support you showed my last day before upload. My phone was going nuts, and it was just damn awesome to see. Anyways, we've got a lot to talk about today, so let's not waste any more time. In case you haven't done so already, remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are of course greatly appreciated, and let's get this one rolling. So, while I was busy recording a video outlining the differences between the day before trailers and the actual delivered game, I started hearing community whispers that the proverbial shit was about to hit the fan at FNTASTIC, leading to this infographic posting to Reddit shortly thereafter. Now, it looked to have been some sort of internal communication from one of the co-founders at the studio outlining the actual sales for the day before, including refunds, review ratings, and a whole lot more. The bit that caught my attention was where it states that the game failed financially and did not pay off. The result is even worse than prop night, and to date, there were 0 sales. And just seeing this post, I thought this was a big fat signal flare being shot up into the night sky that FNTASTIC was a ship that had just hit the rocks and was quickly breaking apart. And lo and behold, my thoughts were confirmed just one short hour later, with the scam shot heard round the world when FNTASTIC, just 4 days after delivering their genre-defining, mislabeled zombie survival MMO, announced that they were closing up shop. Today we announced the closure of FNTASTIC Studio. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially, and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. And I've been bouncing this one around in my head since yesterday. If it was in such rough shape, why launch it now? And really, the only two theories that I have is that, one, maybe FNTASTIC thought that somehow, some way, the game would connect and resonate with a certain portion of the player base, and potentially they could get some income out of it. I know, that's a long shot, but who the hell knows? And here's where Occam's razor steps in and just slapped my ass back to reality. The explanation that requires the fewest assumptions is usually correct. They launched the day before and feigned enough support so that buyers would keep it past 2 hours so that they could pocket as much money as possible before disappearing and shuttering the game. Then there's this bit about investing all of our efforts, resources, and man-hours into the development of the day before, but you know, we just don't have the funds to continue on. Which, at this point, knowing everything you know about FNTASTIC, how much of this bullshit do you actually believe? Especially when they claim they've been working on the game for 5 years, but it's been proven out that many of the assets they used in the release version of the day before did not exist more than a year ago. And then it continues on. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the day before. There were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns, but you certainly took the hard-earned dollars off of the gamers when you offered this misleading product up for sale on Steam at $40, labeled as an MMO survival game when it is clearly a poor man's extraction shooter. One of my contacts within the gaming industry told me that FNTASTIC performed this pump and dump grift to perfection. They hyped the game up to insane levels while showing absolutely nothing, always teasing and then delaying, then delivering just enough of a game that it functions, while making false claims to the players that have purchased it that years of improvements are incoming, like this one that they posted the day after the game launched, therefore stringing players' hopes along so they don't immediately refund the game, therefore keeping it listed on Steam. And, you know, looking back on it all, he's right. FNTASTIC nailed this scam formula. Now, I was lucky in the fact that I had gotten out and refunded the game prior to that 2-hour window expiring, but as the internal memo showed earlier, there were still quite a few players that had not or were not able to, as they had exceeded Steam's refund policy window. And now with the announcement that FNTASTIC was about to cut and run with all that money, you can imagine the anger coming from the players, which is when Mytona, the game's publisher, posted a follow-up statement. To all the day before players, as the investor of the day before, and by the way, it's interesting here that they say that they are the investor, as in they're the only one, we would like to provide some updates on the current situation around the game. We are sorry for the fact that the game didn't meet the expectations of the majority of the players. Today, we will work with Steam to open up refunds for any players who choose to make a refund. We're in contact with FNTASTIC regarding the future of the game. So we might as well address the elephant in the room. Did we just witness Mytona, the game's publisher, publicly rolling the bus over FNTASTIC? I mean, if they really are opening up the floodgates to refunds for anyone wanting one, and if they're able to make that happen, yeah, overall, that's great news, but I'm not ready to let Mytona off the hook, at least not that easily. You can't act like you have no idea the day before was in the state that it was. Almost like, hey guys, we're just as disappointed as you are. You're the damn game's publisher. You have performance checks and progress checks throughout the development of the game. Alarm bells weren't ringing over at Mytona HQ. Nobody was looking at what was on screen versus all those earlier trailers and saying out loud, hey guys, these look completely different. Yeah, again here with Mytona, just like with FNTASTIC, there's just not much credibility or believability when it comes to their public statements. At least not for me. And finally, late last night, we got this strange follow-up tweet from FNTASTIC responding to Mytona's refund tweet. Mytona and we're currently working with Steam to allow refunds for any players who chooses to request one regardless of game time. FNTASTIC received $0 and will receive nothing from the day before sales. You know what? I just can't with these guys. They created the product. They lied. They tried to cut and run with the money, and then once they got nailed, what? They're all of a sudden teaming up with Mytona to issue refunds while still making stupid claims about no money made. If anything, this group at FNTASTIC should take home the award for 2023's worst comms team. Seriously, because when you tell players who you lied to for years and spent real-world money to buy your game, hey, this was our first big experience, shit happens, you don't deserve to be making games ever again. As far as where this all goes from here, who in the hell knows? FNTASTIC makes claims of paying off their partners. There's still the issue of how much money the Singapore government may have given them in grants to make the game there. Who knows if Mytona is telling the truth about any of this? And if anything, FNTASTIC showed that this section of the market really wants this style of game, and they preyed on that fact over and over again. Also, what does this mean for other early access titles moving forwards? How will what FNTASTIC managed to pull off affect how we look at indie titles for the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, there are lasting and truly damaging effects to their scam. In the meantime, pay close attention to what is happening to FNTASTIC's current gaming portfolio. It seems to be shifting publishers behind the scenes to all sorts of reassigned names, almost like how a shell company operates. Also, I would guess that we haven't seen the last of the brothers or their scams, so yeah, keep both eyes open. Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are greatly appreciated. All my socials can be found in the video description below. Shout out to the nearly 185,000 of you that have stuck with me and hit subscribe. And a special thanks goes out to my Patreon supporters. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.